Hey everybody, me is Tommy Tombo here, and today we're deciding to do a pretty small but simple wee video. So as you know, E3 has been happening. It's been big, a lot of great announcements, but today I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and we're going to do a tier list. This isn't a tier list of everything, it's just primarily the Bethesda and Xbox showcase. I'm gonna make it pretty simple and do it from the bottom up so we can get through some of the ones that I didn't really care for, and also start with one of the ones that was probably my most contentious whenever I sent this to my friends. That whole corporate, we know better, so we're going to point out all the flaws or the common tropes that are in a traditional trailer, and we are going to make fun of them while we also do them. To some people that's funny, I don't know. In this exact scenario, I hated it the whole way until they said Outer Worlds 2 at the end, and I was like, oh, I get it now, because I know something like that would fit into the style and the comedy of the game. But the fact they had that at the end, I just watched an entire trailer that I disliked for being this like kind of self-referential thing without actually doing anything different. Just wasn't a fan of it. E tier, we have Redfall. Redfall just had a standard trailer. Like, it was one I felt like I saw a large amount of times. You have like the four main characters who all present their ability that they'll have in game in like a fight against the bad guy. It's basically summarizing the whole gameplay loop into a trailer, but fits it into the world as if like this is a natural occurrence to them. I think it was because it was at the end of the showcase, I just didn't care for it anymore. And I had seen other trailers that had done things more interestingly, and just having Redfall at the very end, I was like, meh. Now we'll fly through the D tier, because there's a couple here. Starting from the rightmost and going in, we have Atomic Heart. My biggest gripe with it, and the reason that it's so low, is just I was not able to follow the trailer at all. It showed a lot of action and a lot of the cool, interesting and absurd stuff that's in the game, but showing me all that without explaining to me what it was left me like really confused. Moving on from there, we have Age of Empires 4. Again, perfectly good trailer for people who are excited about Age of Empires, but this was a game franchise that I've not followed, and the fact that it started off live action and then converted into Age of Empires like gameplay kind of confused me for a bit. Both me and my friend that were watching saw it and saw the kind of like holographic thing they were doing in real life settings, and we were like, is this an addition to something like Google Earth or something interesting, like an educational program? And then it turned out to be Age of Empires, and we're like, okay. We've got Chronicle. I can't pronounce that first part. 2D JRPG, looks fine if you like them. Again, wasn't of interest to me. What was it? Plague Tale, Requiem. I've not played the first game, and whenever going through these trailers again to remember them, it was kind of forgettable. Same can be said for the Shroom and Doom update. It's an update to a game that's already been released that I have not played, so I'm not familiar with it. The only reason it's this high up, they're now introducing spiders into the game, yet there is a feature to turn them into weird blobs or something, just for people who suffer from arachnophobia, which, for not knowing anything about the game and just hearing that as a feature, that sounds pretty cool. But now we get into the C tier. And C tier is where I started to see things that I was, even if I wasn't familiar with them, I was still interested from what they showed. The first one here on the right is the Ascent. Looked really interesting with the cover and stuff. Just general art style, general music. The trailer I just thought it was pretty neat. I just think it's neat. Contraband teaser trailer was perfectly fine. I did do some googling afterwards and found out that it was by the people who made Just Cause, which I thought like, oh, that's interesting. Why was that not put in the trailer? And it turns out it was. There is a wee yellow sticker on one of the vinyls that says like from Avalanche Studios, I believe, and then a wee yellow sticker from the creators of Just Cause. They didn't make that as clear as I think they wanted to, but still interested to see what comes from it. Next up here, Fallout 76 Steel Rain. I also have like the pit, kind of the two of them. This is just additional content similar to the Shroom and Doom update. I've not played Fallout 76, but I am familiar in the series, and it's just good to see more continuous stuff being added to 76 and it not being completely dropped compared to other failures at launch, thinking like Anthem for instance. The fact they're still making stuff, and the trailers here perfectly show like there's new features, there's a new storyline, there's stuff for people who stuck around with the game to stay interested with, but they don't get me interested, somebody who's never played it. The next one here, which is Halo Infinite and the Halo Infinite multiplayer. This trailer would have been really interesting whenever the Xbox One was announced. This was an absolutely fine trailer for both of them, but for how long we've been seeing trailers like that, it just felt kinda okay. To finish off the C tier, we have Sea of Thieves DLC, which is A Pirate's Life. Whenever first watching it, I was like, okay, collaboration with Disney, it's not gonna be that exciting. But the more I watched the trailer, the more I realized, like, if you are a player of Sea of Thieves and you already enjoy this game, and then you found out about this, I can understand why this would get you so excited. You get the characters from Disney in your game. So I feel like out of all these kind of DLC announcements, I feel like this one was the most exciting out of all of them. Moving on to B, we have some of the bigger games coming out and some of the stuff that, even if I'm not a fan currently of a franchise, I can see myself trying out this game. Starfield is just a announcement from Bethesda for a new IP. Didn't really show much about gameplay. Been working on this IP for 25 years, which with the rest of the trailer in mind, what they show, what they hint at, and just that line, it gave my interest. Before I saw this trailer for Starfield, I did not know anything about the IP, and after watching it, I was like, I'm gonna keep myself updated on that. Moving on then to 12 minutes, I can say the exact same. In a very short amount of time, they showed a lot with their trailer. In the cast of voice acting, there was like James McAvoy, Willem Dafoe, a lot of interesting people to have as voice actors in what looks like a fairly small scope game, but it looks very interesting. It hooked me in every spot it wanted to, and it kept it short. Moving on, next we have Far Cry 6. This specific trailer was not like the announcement. This one was the right tool for the right job. It was basically going through the gameplay. If I'm honest, it was really fun. The first time I watched it, I was kind of just like, oh, it's just a Far Cry trailer. But then whenever I watched it again, I realized like the different types of weapons that you have, the different types of vehicles. Something that on first glance looked stupid, like having the chicken or the rooster that can fight. You're like, oh, that's kind of cheesy. But then you watch it actually fight, and I was like, that looks pretty fun to have. They really stuck with that idea of fun gameplay, specifically in this trailer, and I was all for it. Up next, we have Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood was a perfectly good trailer. It sets up everything you need to know if you aren't familiar with the series. It shows like it's from the creators of Left 4 Dead. They've moved on to now to make their own IP, Back 4 Blood. You can see the similarities in it to Left 4 Dead, but they're also going in their own way, and it just leaves you excited to see a new version of this like 4-player co-op zombie shoot 'em up basically. I was interested to see that there's the player versus player mode where one team can play as humans and one can play as zombies. That was something I didn't know beforehand, and it did interest me whenever they showed it, so I'm all happy with that. Overall, just a good trailer. Next, this is probably higher on my list than most people's, but I have Shredders. I am a big sucker for snowboarding games, so much so that I do have a video on the channel already on why I loved SSX so much. You can see it in the top right hand corner of the video if you want to watch it. Simply put, I really like snowboarding games, so whenever I saw this, I was just happy to see a new one. The lighting looks great, the level looks great. What interested me most was the use of both the camera at the start as like a selfie mode, and then at the very end they hinted at like a follow camera. basically, yeah, I'm just really excited to have like a photo mode in a snowboarding game. My only main complaint about them is I hate their logo. I just can't stand it. It's the only thing. Up next, we have the newest Forza Horizon game set in Mexico, and it just looks so beautiful. The way they've managed to make a racing game look so pretty, so exciting. I'm just really game for it. My only sort of gripe was they wanted to show off how multiplayer it was during the trailer, and they showed you flying past a lot of people and certain cars might be blocking your area. That wasn't as much of a plus for me because I prefer being in like the racing world and just relaxing, sticking on some music, sticking on a podcast and driving. That's how I prefer it. And I wouldn't really like it if it went down the GTA Online path where as soon as you load in, you're in a starting hub with like 20 other people that are just already higher level than you and just smashing your car up as soon as you spawn. Now we can move on to the A tier. Pretty much everything from A tier up, I would absolutely be happy to pay and to play, and they all look like a lot of fun. But I will say that everything from A tier up is highly biased. First one to cover in the A tier is Somerville. The studio that's created Somerville is the same one, or it was co-founded by the same guy who did Limbo and Inside, and you can really tell that whenever you watch the trailer. Somerville feels like the exact next evolution that they needed for this type of game. There's spots in it where they're not exactly moving horizontally and it starts to curve and they're going diagonally. There's multiple characters that are kind of working together between the dad, the mother, the child, and the dog. And it just looks like a really interesting world to explore. Moving on to the next one, we have Party Animals. Party Animals, simply put, just looks like so much fun. And I can't describe the trailer in any other way. You can tell the people who worked on the trailer had fun whenever they were making it, and their funny wee gags and the way they set up the characters. And the gameplay, the tone, everything is just really fun. This is a game I would happily get just to play with my little sister, or just play with a group of people where we could get drunk and have fun. Those are two different scenarios. Simply put, Party Animals looks really fun. They really convey that fun in the trailer, and that's why it's as high up as it is. Up next in the A tier is we have Stalker 2. This one, I have not played previous Stalker games. I haven't played the first one, but even without knowing the franchise, the trailer got me very excited just for the world they were presenting and the main theme they were hinting at of that kind of band of brothers by the campfire, the strong like emotional ties you will start to grow with the people that you are fighting these monsters alongside in this post-apocalyptic world. Pretty much what sealed the deal was this abandoned house stopping, finding the radio set and going, wait, and he plays like the classic piano and he just dances in the middle of this completely abandoned derelict building in the middle of Chernobyl, literally like the most dangerous place he could be, and he just shows this little hint of humanity by really enjoying a song and dancing. Just that wee like kind of vignette of emotion just got me really excited, and I really wanted to see what the story would be like and what it would be like to experience being in that world. Up next, at the top of A tier, we have Replaced. Simply put, the art style in this is beautiful. I am very much biased towards really beautiful 2D pixel art sprites in kind of 3D-esque 2.5D worlds with really nice lighting and just really beautiful atmosphere. Like the use of like parallaxing in the background to give it more depth. Like I said, the lighting. It's just a really beautiful game with such a stark and memorable art style that once I watched the trailer, I was immediately like, I like this. I really want to play this. Now we are getting on to our final three games. These are all S tier. And to start with that, simple as Slime Rancher 2. Slime Rancher 2 trailer opened to this like unique art style in terms of 3D rendering, and I was like, this is interesting, it looks cool, what could it be? And as soon as it showed the Slime Rancher gun, I was like, yes, new Slime Rancher, that's brilliant. And then the rest of the trailer is just showing me more of what I already loved with the series, with new environments, new slime types that you can capture. Just a game that I was super hyped for as soon as they showed the gun. The exact same can be said for Psychonauts 2. So as soon as I saw Psychonauts 2, I was like, yes, give me more of that world. It introduced the new area of like the Psychonaut headquarters, the new problems that Raz is going to have to face, and it just looks like a completely new adventure that sticks with the tone, and with upgraded graphics, just looks like so much fun. And now to end the tier list, at the top of S tier is Battlefield 2042. If I'm perfectly honest, whenever I realized that it was going to be the Battlefield trailer, I was not excited. I was like, okay, it's Battlefield trailer, we'll watch it. Battlefield's already a well-established series, not one I've played a lot personally, but we'll give it a try. And then I watched the trailer, and like, I was gobsmacked, blown away, literally couldn't handle how good it was. Battlefield, you gotta give a lot of credit to, because they just know how to make a really exciting experience in a trailer, and I can't say anything better than that. The experience of watching the trailer is almost as good as probably playing the match itself, which is kind of what you want. You want people to get excited to play that map just by seeing the video footage of it, and I think Battlefield did that perfectly. I'm not the biggest fan of the Battlefield series personally, again just due to lack of playing it, but this trailer 100% made me want to get back into the series and want to play this new installment. But that's just my opinion. All of these here are just my personal reasons for placing them here. A lot of them are just down to personal bias. This isn't a scientific, like, objectively this one is better than the other. This was just a bit of fun, and like I said, the link for the tier list will be in the description. If you want, you can fill it out and like tweet it. That's perfectly fine. I just want to see a general discussion on what people thought about the Bethesda showcase, and if you like this type of idea of a video, there are more showcases to come. There's more games to talk about, and more games that we can rank, tier, maybe put like a series versus a series. This is just something simple that I thought I could try and just talk to people about games. Simple as. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I can start producing more of these. And I hope you just have a very fun day. So thank you for watching this, and good day.